I had to bust out the Red Wings swag for this one because, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing it again. Not strictly because, this topic got a lot of YouTube views, but because there actually is a real angle to talk about. Now, you might be wondering what exactly it is I'm referring to. Well, I'm referring to this video. We made this 4 days ago talking about how Steve Yzerman drafted gold yet again. We spoke in that commentary about Max Plante, the top NCAA point guy at the time of that video's publication, who happens to be a Red Wings junior prospect. Well, what if I told you that there's another prospect that happens to be really damn good, and we're going to be talking about him today. Today we're heading over to Timrå IK in the SHL and talking about Eddie Genborg. Now, this is where we really start diving into the value of the 2025 draft, because not only did the Red Wings take a super talented name at number 13, I was about to say number 1, it was their first round pick, you know what I mean. Carter Bear was a slam dunk home run draft pick for Stevie Y and the Red Wings, and he's got 8 points in 9 games so far in the dub. That's pretty good. It's the WHL. You expect him to get a little bit better. He's like a Brandon Hagel light. And if the Wings can add somebody like a Brandon Hagel, I think that's really strong. But Eddie Genborg was taken in the second round, and this guy, oh boy, you better watch out because there are some crazy comparisons that we can make to this player. Genborg, as we had spoken about in the draft video, is 18 years old, 6'2", 198, a left-handed winger. A guy who can play both wings, left and right. He is listed here on Elite Prospects as an energy forward, a heavy hitter, and a two-way forward. Let's go out there and read the scouting report for Eddie Genborg, courtesy of Elite Prospects. He is a physical, two-way forward with a strong forechecking presence and good finishing instincts around the net. He hustles hard and throws his weight around on the forecheck, controls the cycle by sealing off pucks and dealing with back pressure, and finds ways to win body positioning in the net front. Genborg is a guy who, based off of the draft profile, you wouldn't really assume him to be in the level of competition that we are talking about him as he is in today. That sentence was terrible. I apologize. Essentially, what's being written about here is that Genborg is more of a physical, two-way winger. And that's fine, because back when he was draft eligible, he was decently productive in the junior league, over a point per game there. He had 2 goals in 28 Linkopang HC games at the top pro men's league level in Sweden. And obviously, we say this all the time, just the fact that he was in the SHL for an extended period is a good thing. You're always going to get some really interesting prospects when you look at the 17, 18-year-olds that are in the top pro men's league of their countries. But this season, oh boy, have things really taken a turn for Eddie Genborg. Because in 18 games so far with Timrå IK, the young Red Wing has 7 goals and 6 assists for 13 total points. He's on pace for 37 points on the year. This is the guy's draft plus 1 season. He was born on April 20th, 4/20, 2007. This guy's 18 years old, and he'll be 18 years old for the majority of the year, and he's producing at under a point per game. This is outstanding. And it gets even better when you look at the Elite Prospects draft guide. I have access to it because I've got EP Premium, but I'm just going to go out there and read. Eddie Genborg has shades of Garnet Hathaway on his profile here. A physical, two-way forward with strong forechecking and good finishing. And he's a B-grade prospect, according to the folks from Elite Prospects earlier this year. And that is absolutely not to discredit what this guy has been capable of doing, because yeah, okay, he was a physical guy that did some pretty good things in the junior league. That's fine, right? But now, Eddie Genborg has put himself on the map in an even more explosive way than we expected. And we have some articles going out there and talking about this too. I'm going to give a shout out to Kevin Allen on Detroit Hockey Now, who went out there and posted this piece yesterday. The Daily, hats off to Bertuzzi and praise for Genborg. Yeah, please don't remind me about Tyler Bertuzzi. We do not need to relive his hat trick. But getting back over to the article here, let's dive into the Genborg update. Detroit prospect Eddie Genborg is playing an average of 17 minutes per game in the SHL. That's the most by a junior age player. Popular Swedish player turned TV analyst Sanny Lindstrom said this about Genborg. One of the big exclamation points in the SHL this fall is undoubtedly Genborg. With his 13 points, he is the best junior in terms of points so far. What I like most about Genborg is his relentless and bulldozer-like play. And linked is a video clip of Genborg going out there and doing his thing. So all of a sudden, you have analysts in the Swedish Hockey League scene talking about how this guy is the highlight of SHL junior play. And he's only 18. Junior play is anything under 20, so the 19 and even some of the 20-year-olds are included in that classification. But Eddie Genborg is doing some fantastic things at 18. And this is where things get even crazier, because if you take a look at what Genborg has been able to do, 13 points in 18 games, he's on pace for 37 points on the year. If you compare Genborg to other SHL players from 1990, 1991, all the way to this year, and you sort by points per game, this is minimum stats. I have it at 18 games played because that's the amount of games that Genborg has this year. Here are some of the guys that Eddie Genborg is producing similarly to in his Draft Plus 1 year. It's crazy, the list. Let's just dive into it here. So the number one guy on this list is Marcus Naslund, who was a point-per-game player back when he was 18 years old. And, Marcus Naslund, pretty good player if I say so myself. Nylander, 0.95 points per game when he was 18. Daniel Sedin, Peter Forsberg, and then you have Genborg, who's 0.72 points per game in 18 games played at age 18, is better than literally everybody else here. Genborg is producing more than Kevin Fiala, Henrik Sedin, Elias Lindholm, and then it gets even crazier the further you go down. Take a look at this. Eddie Genborg has a higher points per game at 18 in the SHL than Leo Carlsson and Lucas Raymond. Raymond had 18 points in 34 games for a .53 points per game. Carlsson had 25 points in 44 games for a .57. Genborg is up at .72, on pace for 30-something. If you just do the total points out of this sample, if Genborg stays on pace for 37 points, and let's say he actually hits it, this guy will literally be third on this list. He would overtake Henrik Sedin, Lindholm, Forsberg, and everybody else. He would only be eclipsed by Marcus Naslund and Daniel Sedin. That is an incredible list of names to be mentioned alongside of. And I think if that doesn't solidify just how good this prospect is looking at this time, I don't know what will. So, we made the video. Yzerman struck gold with Max Plant. Seems like he might have done the same with Eddie Genborg. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Detroit Red Wings prospect, and what are you excited to see out of him in the next few weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.